And I thought this evening we would present Kate Amerall's position, and the focus of her position is at this CRTC. To be a CTE center, you have to offer three things. One is college credits, the other one's industry recognized credentials, and the third part of that is work-based learning. We could not receive Perkins Grant money unless every single one of our programs had all three of those components. So Kate has done an amazing job overseeing all three of those programs. And I don't want to take up too much time, but Kate is also a Concord graduate, lives in Concord. Her kids are in Concord schools. She's in the Concord Leadership Program right now, and she's paving the way for what I believe is the best work-based learning program in the state. We are the model. I receive phone calls and emails from other CTE centers asking how we were so successful. And I truly believe it's through Kate's work that these students have been given this amazing opportunity. So that's enough for me. Kate, go ahead, take it from here.
Sure. Hello, I'm Kate Amerall. Our work-based learning is, like Ms. Fowler said, is an essential component of what we do. It's really important for the students to get out of the classrooms and get authentic exposure to the careers and the professionals doing the jobs that they're interested in. If you think you want to be a teacher, you really don't know until you step foot in that classroom. And that really goes for any job. So we do really want to get the students out so they can start seeing what those jobs look like, what the day-to-day is like, what the skills are that they're going to need. We want them exhibiting the professional skills that they have gained from our program, and we want them to start building their professional network. This doesn't happen without a lot of active buy-in from the business community in the greater Concord area, and we're really grateful for the business partnerships that we have, that we've developed, so that year to year students can go out and have these experiences, and all we really have to do is reach out to those business partners and those community members and ask them, hey, are you guys interested in having students again this year? And often it's a resounding yes, and they create some really great experiences for our students. Work-based learning is an element in all of our programs, but we also have what's called our CRTC Plus program, which I handed a flyer around. In recent, probably like 5 to 7 years ago, we were able to start accepting sophomores into our programs. What that means is they can take a CRTC program their sophomore and their junior year, and then we had to decide, what does that senior year look like then? We still want them to have access to our resources, to our business partners, to our IRCs and our college credits. We don't want them just kind of, after they've gained 2 years of technical skills and everything that we have to offer, to just kind of go into the abyss their senior year. We also want to offset that concept of graduating early. No, we want them to still be in our schools and utilizing our support systems and our resources, playing sports, going to prom. So the CRTC Plus model is a way for them to kind of stay connected with us and utilize our resources, but purposefully and intentionally take steps into their future. So it's an ELO model that is credit bearing, but it's really in the student's hands to create what that looks like. And it often comes out of that work-based learning experience that they have in their second year of the program, and they just expand upon that. So really I'd like you guys to hear from our students because they can talk a little bit about what their specific experiences have been. Really the options are endless, and it's all in their hands to make it what they want to make it. So we can start with Lauren. You can tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Hello, I'm Laura Lorenz. I'm in the construction trades program. I was very fortunate to be accepted for my sophomore and my junior year. So as a senior, I'm able to have an internship at North Branch Construction, a construction management company. And it was a really great process. They interviewed me with all of their head people and they confirmed what the timeline was, what they wanted me to do, and what was really important to them was that I also spend some time in the office. I was envisioning just being out on the field and learning stuff from there, and that's all I thought I wanted to do in construction. I thought I wanted to be a basic carpenter or maybe a project manager way down the line. But my first couple months in the office were really enlightening, and I realized I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm now looking at different positions still in North Branch, but maybe not your basic carpenter, but maybe like a project engineer. So it has really helped me realize what I want to do. And I was able to find that out much sooner rather than possibly getting stuck in a job that I didn't want. So it has been very helpful for me in that way.
All right, Marcus is a junior currently in criminal justice, so he's planning out what his CRTC Plus is going to look like. So why don't you share that with us?
So my name's Marcus Day. Basically, criminal justice has helped like pave the pathway for me. So as a junior, this year I start my internship with the Concord Police Department, and then next year I'll have another opportunity to possibly do another internship with Concord Police Department for a semester, to just really gain a lot of experience and really try to like set in stone if that's what I want to do for my career. And then for my second semester, it also introduced the opportunity of working for the jail or going internship for the jail and then getting the possibility to work for them as I'll be 18. So that was really good. And then in addition to that, I'm also doing the teaching assistant. So I'll go back to the classroom sometimes and help our criminal justice teacher, Gail Bodwin, out with various things like grading, just helping the kids out in the classroom with completing presentations and wrapping up work. And then I'll also be taking college courses through CRTC Plus in advancement towards my criminal justice degree through NHTI. And yeah, so all in all, like criminal justice has really just kind of like created a pathway for me that I wouldn't be able to access if it wasn't for them.
My name is Cody Haskell. I am a junior, and I'm also in the criminal justice program. And CRTC has really helped me pave the way of being a corrections officer. So a corrections officer is basically a guard in the prison, and my dad has been a corrections officer for 17 years. So I kind of wanted to follow his path. So CRTC has really helped me with that. This year, this Thursday, we were starting an internship with Concord Police Department. And then next year, same as Marcus, I will be going to NHTI, taking those courses through CRTC Plus, getting my associates in criminal justice. I'll be helping our lovely teacher, Miss Bodwin, with a teaching assistance. If she's out of the classroom, helping out, make sure nothing happens. If she needs help with grading, help her with that. And I'll also be starting an internship with Concord Police Department next year. Unfortunately, I'm not old enough to do a internship with the jail or the prison next year. But I was talking to an FBI agent about maybe doing an internship with him.
Hi, my name is Eviana Ramo. I'm a senior this year, and like the rest of them, I started CRTC when I was a sophomore. My junior year, I did the 2 years of criminal justice, where I was able to do an internship with the courts, where I went around to different courts in the state and got to sit in on meetings, help with them. We ended up going to the Supreme Court and doing a mock trial. That was a really enlightening experience for me. And for me, my senior year this year, instead of building my own path, I decided that I wanted to also work in the emergency services field. So I skipped year 1 and I'm now in year 2 of emergency services, where I'm getting my EMT license. And through this, I've been able to work in the field, go to different ambulances around the state and work with them, have patient contacts where I'm physically putting my hands on patients and helping them with everything they need. And being able to mix those two things that aren't normally together, for me, it was really important because I knew I wanted law, but then I found this medical law thing, which is a very niche thing that not a lot of people talk about, where mixing the two, everyone helped me so much during CRTC.
Y'all are killing it.
I know. I wish I had something like this when I was your age. Like, how many of us have held down a job that we didn't really want? I've had 12. So very proud of all of you. This is so cool. Tip of the hat, teach.
Yes, and this is heavy on criminal justice, obviously, today, just because that's a program that has greatly expanded its work-based learning opportunities in the last few years, thanks to a lot of hard work between Ms. Bowden, as you guys have talked about, of really establishing those connections in our community. We have some really, really great experiences that the students get to have in that program. But in addition to Laura, who's doing a program with North Branch, we also have a student from our construction trades program who's at Longchamps and has his electrician's apprenticeship license already. And so instead of coming to our class for the second semester and building the shed, he knew he wanted to be an electrician. So he's going and working for Longchamps 3 days a week as an apprentice electrician. So not only do they have one foot into their future, they really have both feet in while they're still in high school. They're receiving credit for high school credit for it. They're being paid. Laura's being paid at North Branch, which is great. We want to see that happen too. And they're really starting their career. We also have a student who works at Bobcat. He was an automotive intern at Bobcat. It turned into an internship, and now he's a Bow student who spends 3 days working at Bobcat a week. And that's where he's going to work after he graduates. So they're really, really kickstarting their careers. And we're seeing more and more from all of our CRTC programs. But we're just super excited to see what Marcus and Cody do next year with their CRTC Plus. And we're really proud of Laura and Evie as well. So yeah, that's kind of just a glimpse of some of the stuff we do. But like I said, it can be anything.
Ms. Higgins?
So an observation I have that is a bit breathtaking, quite honestly, is all of you spoke about what you think you want and going and doing that and being very assertive about it, and then either not going a direction you thought or having a chance to try something different and having these big aha moments that show you a bigger understanding of what you love. And wow, maybe I like the office better. Maybe I'll do this instead of this. Wow, connecting law and medical stuff. I mean, hugely connected in the big world. And you wouldn't know just doing one or the other. So it's not just learning how to be an electrician or learning how to be a cop or learning how to be a prison guard. It's learning every view of those things so that whatever you do end up choosing, you can look at it through the eyes of the person in the office or the person in the ambulance. Or that, to me, that's the most impressive part of the whole presentation, is that every single one of them got to see their passion through 5 different lenses. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Mr. Richards?
Yes, I have a question for you. So, and by the way, congratulations. These are all very impressive, very good, great achievements that you should be very proud of. I want to know, because you've been there for 3 years, some of you for 2 years, what is the thing that you think would have made your CRTC experience better? And if you had us, give you something or give something to CRTC, what would it be? Do you have anything that comes to mind?
So me personally, one thing that I would think
Could
about.
you speak into the microphone a little
Yes,
bit, Marcus?
really
Thank
hard.
you.
Is this better?
Yes,
Okay.
you're doing great.
So one thing me personally that I would say is expanding like the class times, just so that when you go to do your work-based learning, you're not limited by an hour and a half, because you can accomplish a lot of things, but if you're able to set a larger margin of time aside to be able to go and maybe get like 3 hours out of your work-based learning, you're able to accomplish a lot more there and build like a lot more relationships there. So I just think it'll help make you more successful if you were to be able to be there for a longer period of time.
Good thought.
I do really like what Marcus said, and I agree with him. I also like getting more appreciation to our teachers. They do more than a lot of people realize, and it really helps a lot of children with their future and really pave those ways for those kids and be a very big part of the community.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing your insights. That's very valuable for us, and I appreciate you being willing to do that.
Ms. Hastings?
I've got a question from the workforce perspective. I'm wondering if you hear from employers after the students have come to work with them and or be apprenticed with them. Do they find that these students have skills that match what they're looking for better than just applicants off the street? I would assume they do, but what are you hearing from employers?
Yes, absolutely. We get a lot of feedback is an essential element of work-based learning and the ELOs. So we do send a midpoint survey and we send a final feedback survey from the employees. And we do consistently get that great feedback about them coming with, a certain amount of knowledge about tools and some technical skills. But I don't know if you guys are aware, we have our professional skills rubric that's 40% of our students' grade. So we do put a lot of focus on those professional skills in the 2 years that they're in our programs, which are communication, collaboration, self-direction, and innovation. Inventiveness. It used to be innovation. So there's a lot of focus in those 2 years, and that's actually a lot of the feedback that we get from the business community is actually that professionalism that they bring to the workplace, which is great. That's what we love to hear. And like I said, we're able to go back to these businesses every year and say, hey, we're starting another round of internships. Are you willing to take them again? And that's really our biggest kind of way of hearing that resounding yes is their way of saying, of course, we want those CRTC students back into our businesses.
Is there anything that they would like to see your students come with a little bit more of that we as the school district should be looking at and providing?
Good question. Again, that scheduling piece is really important that Marcus brought up. More time with the students is something that they ask for just as much as the students ask for. And more students. They're happy to have them.
Great, thank you all very much.
How many students do you currently have in CRTC Plus, so doing their third year?
Yes, so we have 15 students doing that, which is a pretty large expansion. We've really only been able to put the focus towards it since my position was added. So it was consistently like 1 or 2 kids the first couple of years, and now we've really boosted it up. And so it's exciting to see.
So how many students come in as sophomores, do we?
Very small percent.
Very small.
Yeah, because of the wait list.
Yeah.
I bet.
Because of the wait list, we give priorities to juniors. And then we don't want to overlook the senior, but we do recognize to complete the whole program, you need 2 years. So we almost allocate the same percentage to sophomores as we would to a senior, but priority is always given to the junior.
And so we're looking for a sophomore who in those essay questions on their application can really kind of show us an intentional 3-year plan. And it really helps us kind of make those decisions about what sophomores we can take.
Mr. Richards?
I have another question for the students because I like asking them this. But I'm somewhat familiar with the CRTC program. One of the things I hear is that our CRTC students have very well developed professional and let's say like everything from putting together their resume to speaking to their desires and their skills to being able to communicate. So I hear you have a very good ability to communicate with employers or potential employers. Do you think you have a better advantage at that than the average high school student? And should we be looking at giving them some of this skill that you have acquired?
I'd say we spend a lot about, especially when we started our internships, I know for criminal justice, we dedicated a week of our classroom time to building a resume, to figure out how you draft an email to try and get a job. We were made as the students to go out and do those things. The teachers didn't reach out to these businesses for us. This was something we had to do ourselves. And I think it really makes a difference when you have the skills to communicate with someone yourself and give every chance that you can present yourself in a positive light and a professional light. And I think the teachers spend a lot of energy and time making sure that you have those skills to be able to do that.
Well, the 4 of you certainly have developed those skills very well. So you should be very proud.
One thing that I don't know if it's just limited to the construction trades program is that we have SPUR, and that's where you get your grade for the quarter. And the way that my class was done is that you get a grade for every single job sheet that you do, whether it's electrical, plumbing, welding. Carpentry is a little bit different because we make a shed, so it's hard to like have certain aspects of that, and you're more just graded for the overall shed and your overall collaboration. But we get all of our grades, and then we go and we meet with our teacher. It's a one-on-one 5 to 10 minute conversation that is held as if it was an interview. I shake my teacher's hand every single time I go in that in his office, and it was so nerve-wracking. I think the first time I accidentally said "nice to meet you," but that has really helped because we talk about why I got the grade that I did, and I'll be like, I think I deserve a 4 in electrical because I got job sheets on this, and I've helped out my fellow students on this and stuff like that. And if he says, oh, well, actually, I would rather give you a 3 because of yada, 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 we're able to communicate and go through our grades. So it's really helpful to know where I'm at and what I need to improve on, while also giving that professional environment that has really enhanced my skills.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Mrs. Murphy?
So in criminal justice,
Mhm.
sorry about that. So in criminal justice, each year we have a unit dedicated to interviewing, and we interview each other. We watch examples of bad interviews and good interviews, and take what we learn. And this year we had Concord Police, with Sheriff's Department, lawyer. They all came in and we interviewed us and told our teacher how we did. That is with both years.
Oh, that's really cool.
Thank you for telling us. Sure.
Yeah. Marcus, do you have anything?
I was actually just gonna say the same thing that Cody said.
Right
Where
on.
we have these business partners that come in, like the sheriff's office. We had an attorney in there, and then just having that live interview where we have to. It's one-on-one, and we're isolated, and then like presenting our resume and articulating why we should have that job, and really just trying to like show just how like good we are, I guess, in a sense.
You're good. You can say it.
So those like using that, it really just helps like develop all of our professional skills, I'd say.
Thank you.
Superintendent
May I try?
Murphy?
Laura, robotics is kind of related to the work that you do. Can you share with the board your experiences? Because I understand you're the captain of the robotics team at Concord High School.
Yes.
So could you share a little bit about
Yeah,
what's
of course.
happening?
So I started the Remlet robotics team when I was still obviously at Remlet, but I was also able to start at the high school team when I was in 7th grade. So I'm a senior and I've been on the team for 6 years. I've been a part of leadership for 3 years, and this is my first year being the captain. The previous 2 years I was the assistant captain. That has also helped me a lot. It was hard being pushed into leadership as a sophomore, and I was the ones that were bossing seniors around. That was a little daunting at first, but it's something that I'm very grateful for and something that has definitely pushed me further. And that was also helpful because I went into it being like, all right, I don't know how to do all this math. I don't know how to make a design, but if you give me a blueprint, I can make that. So I wanted to go into mechanical, and so that's what opened my mind up to carpentry. But since then, now as the captain, I don't do much on that sub-team anymore. I help direct and help do the mechanical side of the robot. So I'm the ones that's directing the mechanical team, but also now the electrical and the CAD, which is our computer aided design. So everything on the robot is built on the computer first. So
Laura, how'd your team do this weekend?
we went to the semifinals, and that is really great for us because that gets us a lot of district points to hopefully get to district championship. I have not been on the team when we have gone to districts. We have struggled to get into playoffs before, but we were picked by the Third Alliance and made it to the semifinals. And we only have 2 competitions, so getting those points are very, very, very important.
Great.
Congratulations.